Benjamin Netanyahu, a war criminal, someone who's about to have ICC arrest warrants issued against him, is speaking at the United Nations. The United Nations should be ashamed of itself. Not only have they let the global community down, they've not only let human rights down, they've let their own staff down. Benjamin Netanyahu and his government and the Israeli occupation have deliberately targeted hundreds of United Nations employees. They've let their own staff down. Benjamin Netanyahu and his government and the Israeli occupation have deliberately targeted hundreds of United Nations employees. They've been massacring them in Gaza, the West Bank, and now Lebanon.
The people of Israel live now, tomorrow, forever. Thank you.
You've been listening to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking in front of the United Nations General Assembly. Not the entirety of the General Assembly, as many of those delegates walked out at the beginning of this very fiery speech from the Israeli Prime Minister. At one point, he referred to the United Nations as an the General Assembly, as many of those delegates walked out at the beginning of this very fiery speech from the Israeli Prime Minister. At one point, he referred to the United Nations as an anti-Semitic swamp, and he said the real war criminals are in Iran, Gaza, and Lebanon. So some very fiery words.
This was a defiant speech. He was speaking to a largely empty chamber. It was empty and empty-ish before he got there. And then, as you noted, there were a couple of walkouts, including, according to our teams inside, from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Iran.
I am a 40-year-old biracial man. I'm also an ex-con who washed out of basic training 21 years ago. So it blew my mind when I got a call today from a U.S. Army recruiter. They had a copy of my DD-214. They knew about my prior service, my criminal history, and everything I've done in my life, and asked me if I was interested in re-enlisting. I'm thinking, I'm 40 years old. The Army, the military is a young man's game, a young person's game. I mean, I'm still in good shape. I'm 6'2", 230 pounds. I grew up in the streets fighting. I was fighting in prison. And when I was in the Army at 19, basic training really wasn't all that hard. I was going in as 11 Bravo, as infantry. I didn't wash out in basic training because it was hard. There was some other things that happened in there that I have videos about you can go check out. But apparently they raised the age limit to 42 years old. And a lot of middle-aged people like myself are getting phone calls. So me and this staff sergeant talked for a little while. The fact that I have 2 bachelor's degrees would allow me to come in as an E4. I can't come in as an officer because I have criminal convictions, so I can't get a secret clearance for anything. And we all know the Army don't get paid shit. So they're essentially asking me at 40 years old, as an ex-con who hasn't been in the military for 21 years, to re-sign up to be in the infantry. Now this set off a lot of alarm. 40 years old, as an ex-con who hasn't been in the military for 21 years, to re-sign up to be in the infantry. Now this set off a lot of alarm bells in my head. And the conspiracy nut in me kind of started kicking in. Is World War III coming? Or are they that desperate to put bodies and boots on the ground in some form? And the conspiracy nut in me kind of started kicking in. Is World War III coming? Or are they that desperate to put bodies and boots on the ground in some foreign countries so we can go die? I tell you what, that staff sergeant was a salesman. He spun me a tale about redeeming myself, about how this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go back and fix some things in my past. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling it. I'm like, yeah, I deeply regret not being able to be in the Army. I deeply regret the things that happened to me in the Army, and I wish things could have been different. This guy was pulling at all my heartstrings, all my regret, all my past. Had me really envisioning myself at 40 years old with all my gray facial hair and my dad bod, putting on the uniform again. But something has to be going on, that they are interested in middle-aged ex-cons like me. I look at what's going on with the Russia and Ukraine situation. I look at what's going on in the Middle East with Iran and Israel and Gaza and Lebanon. I look at what's putting on the uniform again. But something has to be going on, that they are interested in middle-aged ex-cons like me. I look at what's going on with the Russia and Ukraine situation. I look at what's going on in the Middle East with Iran and Israel and Gaza and Lebanon. I look at what's going on with China doing military drills with Russia. I look at what's going on with Iran selling weapons to Russia. And I see how America is right in the middle of all of that. And I look at how turbulent this election season is. How it can be on the precipice of a civil war and World War III. So instead of the U.S. government instituting a draft, which would be widely unpopular in America, they rather call up old middle-aged men like me, playing our heartstrings. The U.S. government instituting a draft, which would be widely unpopular in America. They rather call up old middle-aged men like me, playing our heartstrings, offer us a nice big enlistment bonus, pull at the strings of our patriotism, and sucker us into signing up and going to die somewhere. Of course, I said no. I have a wife, I got bonus, pull at the strings of our patriotism, and sucker us into signing up and going to die somewhere. Of course, I said no. I have a wife, I got 6 kids, I have a career, and the pay that they'll give me as an E4 is a drastic pay cut. And the fact, oh, I have a wife, I got 6 kids, I have a career, and the pay, and sucker us into signing up and going to die somewhere.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharal. All praises and glory goes to our mighty power, Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakaku Josh. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and salutations unto the elect men feeding the sheep of Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in sincerity and truth with this great gospel that is coming out of our Bible. And World War III is definitely right around the corner, whether you like it or not. Right? These countries, they're going to go to war. They're going to fight against another, right? These missiles going to fly from one country to another, like the Bible tells us, right? And they're known as arrows, right? They're going to shoot their arrows basically where at America and Israel. That's the main places that's going to be hit. That's going to be destroyed off the face of the earth according to the prophecy of the scriptures. And everything is leading to that. Everything is leading to that, right? You got this Netanyahu dude, right? A friend of America, America's ally, Israel. What they doing? They dropping so many bombs. They killing their own people. They killing UN people, right? They don't give a fuck. They killing innocent women, so-called innocent women and children. We know ain't nobody innocent. This is all the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because the scriptures speak about the second woe is past, but the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe cometh quickly, and we see it coming. Right, because these small hatters, they got plans. They got plans. They want to take over the society, take over that land, and set up that NW-ISO, right? That NW-ISO, have everybody chipped underneath their power, have everybody chipped underneath their rulership, right? Because they ain't trying to share nothing with nobody, right? And you see the violence of this man. This is a bloody man. This is a violent man. And he's shown himself to be the wicked that the scriptures speak of, right? I'm going to read the book of Joel 3 verse 9. It reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right? We're in the time of war. We're in a time of happiness and celebration and festivals and festivity. That is definitely not the times that we're living in. This is not the happy days. This is not the good times. Right, this is the times of sorrow. We're coming closer to the days of sorrow, times of tribulation, right? The times of no food, no safety, no shelter, no security, and no fucking help whatsoever, goddammit, because you've been trusting on your government officials, right? You've been trusting on your goddamn selves, and you're going to find out you are nothing when the Lord start bringing that judgment on you wicked motherfuckers, right? Because war is coming. The children's about to be drafted. Right, everybody's about to feel the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, especially Babylon the Great, which is America. Revelation 18 and 21, it reads, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. America is known as Babylon the Great, right? And it says, and shall be found no more at all. That is the future of America. That is the future of America. And you got these military men. They don't, man, ex-military men. They don't want to go fight. They don't want to. He said, man, a draft wouldn't be popular in America. Yeah, because don't nobody want to go fight, right? I'm going to read the book of Jeremiah 51, verse 30, and it reads, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds." Man, I got a wife, 6 kids, a career. Why I want to go fight for? They want to send me somewhere to die? Ain't that what the dude just said? Right, it's a lot of these military dudes, man. They've been fleeing for years, man. I know a bunch of motherfuckers who joined the military. Their asses got kicked out for what? Not returning back, right? For leaving their post. Right, it says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken." Right? Because who's gonna protect Babylon the Great? Because the men of Babylon don't want to fight. Right? We got a motherfucking enemy coming from Russia. They don't play that shit. These niggas fight bears. Right? These niggas play with bears for a living. Right? Them motherfuckers like resting in the cold weather. Right? That ain't the spirit of an American. Look at the American male. He got a big motherfucker with a small ass little puppy. Right? Because the spirit of a Babylonian, American, Egyptian has been brought low. Right? Because why? It's a time of that judgment. This ain't that time of the 20s, the 30s, and the 50s, and the 60s, and the 70s, even in the 90s, boy. A motherfucking white boy, a nigga would join the military to fight for America. That patriotic spirit, that has vanished. That has vanished. I'm reading Jeremiah 50, verse 30. "For out of the north there cometh a nation against her." Who's her? America. America, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein, and they shall depart, both man and beast. The future of America is desolation without no people living in this place, right? Ain't nobody going to dwell in this place. That judgment is going to be, what this place is going to be as a memorial of how not to be. How not to be. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Right? When is this going to happen? It's getting closer and closer. Because we see the spirit of the people of the earth. America's making more and more enemies than you ever seen. And even America's allies, even America turning on Israel, and Israel turning on America. Because you got Netanyahu, he's just dropping bombs. He don't give a fuck. They tell him to fall back with all this bomb dropping, all the killing. He said, man, he on a mission to make the people of Israel be liberated from the violence from the so-called Palestinians. And we know that's some bullshit. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the Israelis who kidnapped the motherfuckers. Right? All these different, because we know Esau's a goddamn liar, man. You can't trust the words coming out of the mouth of the wicked. The wicked will set up a situation just so he could benefit from it, right? You see 911? During 911, they said that was a job done from the inside, not from the outside, right? So what happened? They end up passing laws and regulations on the people of America. Yeah, you can't, if you're going to be traveling, man, we got to frisk you, man. We got to frisk you down. Yeah, man, we got to check your socks, your underwear, all these. You remember what happened? Yeah, it was hard for you to travel. Your restrictions got taken away. You was restricted from moving around, right? Different laws got passed. The Patriot Act. All these different laws that was not for the benefits of you people of this society. The people of this society. What's another thing? These goddamn Americans ain't ready for war. It says we're fucked. U.S. Navy commander pictured in viral photo of a backward scope relieved of duty. Yeah, get this dude out of here, man. Get this dude out of here. This is the type of dudes who's about to defend America. In the end of days, the latter times, right? Read the book of Isaiah 66 and 16. It reads, "For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." Right? The Lord's coming back to lay things down, lay people down. And the chief enemy that's going to be fighting against the Lord is what? America and the Israelis. America and the Israelis, they're going to fail miserably. They're going to fail miserably because that's the future of these two countries. Death and destruction. Jeremiah 23 and 29. "Is not my word like as a fire, saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces," right? And this word is on fire right now because everybody is talking about America is Babylon, America is Egypt, right? What else? They're comparing America to Rome. They comparing this word is spreading like a fucking wildfire. You got Edomites comparing America to Rome. You got regular citizens comparing America to Rome. You got people talking about, is this the end of America? Is America falling like Rome fell? Right, and also people seeing that the connection between America and Israeli, that's not beneficial to the people of America. Right, that's not beneficial. One small hatter said, yeah, we ain't gonna go fight. We gonna send Americans to go fight. We gonna send your kids to go fight, right? Because they look at you as a cattle, right? Because you're not, in their eyes, you're not considered a human being. I mean, the book of Luke 12:49, it says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled, right? Because we talking about war. We're talking about death and full destruction. The Lord ain't talking about coming back to bring people together. The Lord's coming back to bring division and separation and set up the children of Israel back in their rightful place, which is at the top of the nations, man. We're gonna be the head of the nations. And Esau, Edom, you definitely gonna be the tail, right? Everything's gonna go back to how it's supposed to be, right? Because since we disobeyed the Lord, we had to go through this punishment, right? And we had to see these Gentiles come up, right? And now we get to see the Gentiles go down. It says, blessed is the man that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. And that's what we're seeing, paraphrasing Revelation 18:5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which ye have filled, fill to her double. Right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and in no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's how they feel here in Babylon the Great. That's why they mock the men of the Lord, right? They mock these so-called internet speakers who be talking about the collapse of the money and the fall of America, right? A regular Edomite or a regular heathen or a regular two-third Jacob come across some videos and scoff and laugh, not knowing that this place is about to be destroyed, man. This place is about to fall. This book of Jude 1 verse 7, it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. And that's how America is going to go down, just like the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah. Because this place is known as spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom, right? The land of the children of Israel's captivity. And the Lord's about to come back and save his people and destroy America. Shalom.